Initiating System 1. System 1 loaded.
The GoreCast is brought to you by American Horrors, the greatest uncut horror channel in the world. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all horror. As well as the station of decapitation without your head.
America's longest running horror channel, www.withoutyourhead.com.
The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
What's up, GoreCasters? Welcome back here to the GoreCast with me, Johnny Deadly, and my homeboy, we're Frankenstein, the Giz.
You had words in your head that made sense and it just didn't come out, did they?
I've been editing a lot.
Yeah.
I have,
Want me to do the intro or are you good?
no, I think that's pretty much the intro. We're doing Frankensteins, myself and Git. Wait, hang on. Okay, cool. We got the cinematic retrospective of Frankenstein going on tonight over on American Horrors, and as is customary, we try to theme our shows on a Sunday night here to match those, where we can get a little bit more into stuff than we can in our 30-minute segment on the Willow-Vision. So, lined up tonight, we have the original Frankenstein. Well, not the original Frankenstein, but the flagstone beginning of Frankenstein.
Yeah, the one that the more...
The universal one is what we're trying to say.
Yeah, Bride of Frankenstein. What?
Oh yeah, it's not the it's not the original. Oh shit, I got the wrong trailer.
See, I didn't say anything a while ago because I heard you say it, and then I also heard you say, no, we don't need these clips because we're not doing thingy, and I went, oh, he downloaded it by accident.
Yeah, I might try and rectify that while we're while we're doing the... I probably won't. You're just going to see the Frankenstein trailer, but look, realistically, she just kind of shows up at the end.
No.
The trailer just could not have any of the Bride of Frankenstein in it.
Okay.
She does kind of just show up at the end.
She doesn't. The entire film is about creating her.
Oh no, the entire film is about creating her, but the actual physical visualization of the Bride of Frankenstein is very much at the end.
Except for the actress herself is very much
Except
at
for
the
the
start.
actress. She's at the start, because otherwise they wouldn't have a body to make the Bride of Frankenstein.
No, the same actress plays Mary Shelley.
Oh right, I thought she was the girl that got hauled off to the...
I actually didn't figure it out until afterwards. It's actually the actress that plays Mary Shelley also plays the bride, which is kind of cool because they always had a question mark over the actress's name when they had the bride. In the that is not my lighter. Before I get blamed. So anyway, yeah, we're going to be covering the Bride of Frankenstein.
Bad.
We're going to be covering the film where that line became famous. To be perfectly honest,
that worked out.
Yeah,
that worked out better than I thought it would. Not for my eyebrows, obviously, but
I once deliberately did that to somebody who was hilarious. Actually, I a lot of times.
A lot of most people and myself in Giz's age group, for those who used to go down the back of the shed smoking fags.
I didn't smoke.
Yeah, but that was like the standard thing in school, was just Jimmy rigging people's lighters when they weren't looking so that they'd burn their face off. Did you enjoy spending 14 months growing those 4 mustache hairs? Bye, son! You're bald!
Good times. Anyway, after Bride of Frankenstein, we're going to be taking a look at Hammer Horror's, I want to say, debut picture, because it came before the Dracula film.
It's before the Dracula thing. As I said in the episode tonight, there was the letter, which I won't get into now, otherwise you won't need to watch the TV show. But you can imagine Universal are a bit snippy about people doing
we heard you're going to a Frankenstein
heard
movie.
you're doing that thing that I know we don't technically own, but we kind of,
better not look like what we did.
And it didn't. And all the better. I'll tell you a little side note about Johnny Deadly. That's my favourite Frankenstein movie.
Curse of Frankenstein?
Curse of Frankenstein is not just tonight, period. Curse of Frankenstein.
Sure.
I think that's where Frankenstein's at.
Sure. And to round things out, we're going to be going with the found footage style Frankenstein theory, whereby someone decides that, well, actually, Frankenstein was a work of non-fiction.
Yeah, the book was more of a diary.
It's look,
I'm trying to describe it briefly. So.
Dramatization.
There we go.
That's the word. Dramatization of some really fucked up shit that
some
actually
really fucked up shit that actually happened.
Mm.
With a guy, whose name I can't rightly remember now.
Frankenstein?
Thank you. That's it. I was like, it's like Frankenstein, but it's
not.
also Ghostbusters.
Yeah, Frankenstein.
I'm hoping that's where it came from.
One would imagine.
I'm hoping that's where it came from.
He's more of an Egon than a Peter. Well, no, he's more of a Ray than a Peter, actually. He's very passionate about what he's into, which, is his own detriment. Anyway, while you do the social mediaing, should I jump into the news bits?
We can. 2 secs. Let me just do this one social media thing, because I do need to hit a button to close the news bits. Share it to your story. Shared. Alright, news. Newsroom, bitches! Yeah!
Aha! So, do I...
Yeah, you can start off.
Okay, I thought you wanted to put up a picture instead of just...
Yeah, I can. I usually wait for you to start talking.
Oh, okay.
See?
Okay. Well, you see, it seems that because it's Halloween, everyone decides that, you know what, it's Halloween, I'm going to do something fun and kind of creepy and...
I'm going to do something a little bit horror themed. And for anyone who doesn't know, Drew Barrymore has recently acquired herself a chat show, a talk show.
I don't know if it's recent, but...
It's not. It's not so old that I wouldn't say recent. I think it was in light of the Ellen thing, if memory serves me correctly.
Yeah, well, hasn't that been around for a long time now as well?
No, the incidences that led up to her getting boot kicked off TV are happening a long time, but the actual booting of the TV is...
I was referring to a TV show. She got kicked off TV.
Yeah, turns out she was a bit of a... I don't know, can we talk about this on YouTube? Turns out... Yeah, fuck it, I don't care. Turns out she was a bit of a cunt for like 20 years to everyone.
Shocking.
Yeah. It is a little bit shocking. Because she was kind of portrayed as like the nicest person on the planet.
And what have I always...
Which is also not shocking. Yeah, I get where you're coming from.
I mean, like, there's a reason... There's a reason I say that I don't trust people that smile too often.
Anyway, on a site, that was more... Well, I suppose this is the news section, although the news we're talking about is old. Not this news. The Drew Barrymore stuff is new. Anyway, Drew Barrymore, for anyone who remembers, used to be in a little old franchise known as Scream, albeit briefly.
Yes, very briefly.
But very notably. She was like the... Wes Craven always envisioned her as like I can't remember the name of the lady from Psycho, but as in, you have this gorgeous leading lady, she's on all the advertising material, she's on everything, she's well known, and everyone's like, oh, she's going to make it through the whole movie, 5 minutes in, done, that's it. Yeah. And it kind of puts you in a very disjointed stint for the rest of the movie, because you're like, well, this is already not going remotely where I thought it was going to go. But anyway, Casey, that's her name, Casey Becker. I had Sydney in my head, and I was like, no, Sydney's the one that did make it through.
I didn't know you were trying to think of her name, because I
knew the last name, and I kept... anyway, Casey Becker. Drew Barrymore did a little, 1 minute short on her show. That's kind of funny. Kind of imagining if Casey Becker hadn't died, and how the whole Ghostface killer thing would work in modern day time.
And if he came back along and decided to start giving her grief, and apparently this time she is having none of it.
Not remotely. Because now mobile phones are here, where it's mostly communicado, done text message. I
use my phone to talk.
And there's Facebooks and things like that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But it's very easy to ghost people as well if you want, which is the ironic thing. But you should go check it out. Won't eat up a whole lot of your time. As I said, it's about 60 seconds or something like that. It's short. It doesn't need to be more than that. It's a good thing about a short sometimes. Do you know what I mean? You can get the whole gag done in a minute. Which the owner of American Horrors, I'm sure, is listening and all going, yeah. Remember that sentence? GoreCast, with your promos. Remember that there.
What, snappy one?
All of them. I think that's the general gist, unless we do a little masterpiece like Gizenstein, which you'll all get to see later on. Fire up.
So, on to the next news bit, I guess.
Next news bit. This is an interesting one. So there's been discussions about a new Evil Dead movie
Here we go.
for quite some time.
Sorry, that was slow.
It's okay. There's a discussion about a new Evil Dead movie for quite some time. And everyone was wondering in what guise it would be. You know, because it's like, are we continuing on from the Fede Alvarez one? Or is, because Bruce Campbell did have a bit involved at the end of that, and then that'd tie in or something? Or are we going to talk Bruce Campbell back? And it would appear not. It would appear they're going a whole new direction. Which I'm okay with.
Yeah, we'd already heard that the new film is going to be called Evil Dead Rise, and that it was supposedly going to be set in a skyscraper. Now, apparently, we are also being told that it is going to be a female lead, and that is going to be a woman in an attempt to save her family. Because once again, Bruce Campbell has stated that the entire thing about the Evil Dead movies is that
It's not about Bruce, it's about a normal, everyday Joe getting put up against Evil Dead.
Yeah, it's not a soldier, it's not a scientist, it's basically your neighbor next door.
Joe Schmo.
Yeah, so in this case, they're going to continue that trend by having a woman who is going to try and save her family from what we imagine is going to be an entire office, or apartment building filled with the undead, as someone somehow invariably gets their hands on that wonderfully skin-covered tome, the Necronomicon, and, manages to translate it from ancient Kandarian. Actually, I can't wait to find out how that kind of works out. Bet you it's someone that works in a museum. Bring home some of their work, start doing translations, all of a sudden, whoops, apocalypse.
Oh, the old whoops apocalypse.
Whoops, apocalypse.
Thank you. That's the one.
According to Campbell, they're honing in and circling on trying to find a partner to go ahead. They got script sorted out, they got director picked, they got a very good modern take on it. And it's
I do like this skyscraper idea. Like, I think it's a... Because, thing with Cabin in the Woods is you only have the one or two rooms and a whole lot of woods thrown around. Skyscraper, a lot more enclosed.
Well, it's still spamming a can, it's just spamming a vertical can. But what I was going to say was their hope that they can start filming this next year.
Lovely.
Yeah, so
very good.
with that in mind, it's the other side of it is, will they be doing anything that ties it into the Ash vs. the Evil Dead series? Because they can. All they have, there's.
Realistically, you could tie in the Fede Alvarez movie as well if it's a bunch of heroines, because you could have the girl from.
It doesn't need. No. The characters don't need to have anything else to do with it.
I would like to see your one from Ash vs. the Evil Dead, if they are bringing the ladies in.
It wasn't Tana. Kelly,
thank you.
Yeah, there we go.
Because she's great.
Yeah, but whatever about that. But what I meant was because of the nature of the Necronomicon.
Yeah,
that's how they.
By definition, the book. Myself and Giz got a copy. There's the fucking ancient druids.
Much like the Bible, there's a bunch of different translations. However, unlike the Bible, no one ever actually took this to be real. So, as a result, it can be used fictitiously the way it was designed to be used by H.P. Lovecraft back in the day.
Or just as a really, really fancy transportation system, as myself and Giz use it mostly.
Yeah, better than Uber, as long as you can get the address right.
Yeah, and deal with the vomiting afterwards.
You vomit that?
There's a bit of a punch in the stomach. Not all the time. Just about 80, 90, 92%. We'll call it an even 94%.
I always wondered why you seem to disappear off for a while and we end up not finding each other at first.
Yeah. Well, that's a gag that's in canon, if you remember correctly.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, next bit.
Next news bit. Yeah. For your music lovers out there, Rob Zombie, it's 7 days. Although it's not 7 days anymore, it's 5 days. The news article I read it from was 2 days old, and the advertisement were because Rob Zombie announced that in 7 days, October 30th, there's some new tunage from the zombie town getting dropped. Which is a perfect time. All Hallows Eve. That's if there's ever a time for some zombie,
I wonder, would it be a cover of something, or would it be something new and original? Because he's been teasing a new album since like August.
I'm wondering, is it the album period? Because remember Tool did that. They just dropped the album.
Yeah, but that's because Tool have been like for the last decade. Actually, for the last decade.
Yeah,
not a joke.
You don't need,
not a joke.
You don't need to tell me.
Like, I mean, that was... It's here, take it, stop, don't kill us.
I was one of those guys.
Here, just...
Tool dropped a new album. Yeah, sure they did. Okay, no. They dropped it on Spotify and then it's going on sale properly. Like,
yeah, I know. I did a show about it that week. It was kind of like, I couldn't believe it was new Tool music.
Yeah, I just woke up one morning and there was a Tool album on Spotify and I was like... Rah, rah.
So anyway...
I was so happy.
Fortunately, we hadn't had to wait that long between Rob Zombie albums. Although I admit, the last one they
Sim
did...
Traders, what's going on? How are you? Also, actually, sorry for interrupting. We might as well say hello to Bree and Buzz as well.
Hi, Bree. Hi, Buzz.
While we're there. I just thought while people were nodding in. Yeah, zombie, Halloween, musics.
Yeah, so we're going to have to... This time next week, I'm sure we'll be able to say whether or not it's good. It'll probably be awesome.
I'm ordinarily not overtly disappointed in anything zombie. I mean, loads of people had an issue with it. What was that album? Wild Horses?
Deluxe.
No, didn't people have issues with Wild Horses? Wasn't that the album? The one that had Foxy on it as well?
Maybe. I don't know. I thought Hellbilly Deluxe 2 was a little bit off.
I like
the last one, though, was really good.
It's good.
Venomous Rats.
It's good.
It's got a long name that I can't remember off the top of my head. You complicated bastard.
It's
good.
Awesome. It's some good adult bumping music. That's what it is.
It's got Dead City Radio on it. Fucking great track.
That's on my soundtrack. My soundtrack of fuck.
Okay. Sorry. It took me a minute before it dawned, before it registered in my brain what you actually had said there for a second.
Soundtrack of fuck.
Yeah, that. Oh, look, Katie's in as well. Hi, Katie.
Guten Tag.
Anyway.
Oh, sorry, I didn't notice that. Sorry. I'm very sleep deprived, so...
Anyway.
Soz.
Shall we move on to film bits, or is there anything else in the news you want to get?
No, wasn't there something you wanted to talk about? I don't have an image for it.
No. Well, I'll be honest, I was very excited when I heard that Tim Burton is going to be doing a new Addams Family TV show, or at least he's hoping to. As we know, there's the Addams Family animated movies have been out last year, and there's another one coming out next year. But
and if you don't mind animated movies, they're as Addams Family as you're going to get.
Yeah, they're really cool. But the new series is apparently looking to be a modern update of the Addams Family, possibly revolving around Wednesday, which I would have no problem with. Grown Up Wednesday. Shut up.
Imagine if he...
Christina Ricci, they were already saying, what if you got in Christina Ricci?
No, although that would be great. But imagine if he was picking up your Ones series.
Adult Wednesday Addams?
Adult Wednesday Addams, not that one.
I know.
Oh no, that's really adult. Yeah, very adult. Fucking is too. So is Pugsley. They're all pretty adult.
Pugsley wasn't in that one. That was a different one.
He's in some of them.
Yeah, but they're not, that's different.
Yeah.
Anyway, on to the films for tonight, I think. Because...
Films! Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we need to... Okay, back to the studio. We're all going to the studio, lads. Anyway, first up on our cinematic menu of delights tonight, because I won't lie to you, they're all good.
Yes, they are.
They're all good. Even the found footage one, surprisingly enough.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, I'm intrigued to see where a found footage...
We'll get into why the found footage one was good in a while, because
Yeah.
I believe there are certain reasons that enhanced it.
Yes. Hideosity being one of them.
Idiocity?
I've never seen... We'll get into it.
Okay. Okay.
Instantaneous knowledge after seeing one or two scenes that you're like, this isn't going to go well at all.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, that.
Anyway, to kick things off, we were going to go with the classic 1935 Bride of Frankenstein!
I might actually try and acquire the trailer while we're...
Okay, you do that.
While we're reviewing it.
Which sees Boris Karloff return...
Just for posterity purposes.
Okay. Which sees Boris Karloff return as the Mummy, along with Colin Clyde.
No.
What?
Boris Karloff returns as Frankenstein.
Ooh, sorry, my bad.
He did also play the Mummy.
He did.
Yeah.
My bad. He did, yeah. But anyway, along with Colin Clive, who returns as
And
Henry
he-
Frankenstein, I think. Yeah, Colin
Yeah.
Clive was in the first movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the second one. Yes, that one.
Yeah.
He's in both of them.
Yeah, I know. If he's in the second one, which we're talking about, I'm asking if he's in the first one. So I'm looking at anyway. Whew. So yeah, this basically starts off pretty much at the end of the first movie, where the villagers have supposedly trapped Frankenstein and burnt him to the ground inside the old windmill. With Henry being, yeah, they think Henry's dead, and then once they bring him back home, turns out he's actually not dead. He's very much alive, and that was a terrible idea, and he really should not have done that. That's it. I'm done with it. No more fucking around with the undead. That was a bad idea.
I learnt my lesson. He nearly burnt a windmill down and killed a load of people in the town. I'm just going to call a mulligan, and we'll move on. What?
Yeah.
No!
No.
No! You could have let it lie, but you wouldn't let it lie.
Well, it wasn't up to him, though, because along comes...
No. He was kind of blackmailed into it.
Yeah, Dr. Pretorius, an old colleague of Dr. Frankenstein's, comes along and basically said, look, I know what you've been up to. I know what you did. I've been studying along similar lines. I've gotten this far with my little miniature people who are all cute and cool and awesome, but I can't solve the size difference.
My little miniature people.
That was weird.
That was odd, wasn't it?
It was pure Gulliver's Travels. I was like,
I won't lie to
expecting
you.
that.
I woke up at 5 o'clock this morning and started editing, and I'd say it was a good 2 in the afternoon before I put on Bride of Frankenstein today. So for a brief moment, I thought I was tripping. It took very long for my brain to recollect. Oh no, wait, no. There is crazy small people in this movie.
Yeah, there are. Dr. Pretorius, as I said, has been working on his own experiments and is insistent that Dr. Henry Frankenstein assists him in basically solving the size equation. Because you did it! I know you did it! We all know you did it! If you don't help me, I shall reveal to the world what you did, you bastard. Meanwhile, however, it turns out that the monster is very much not alive. He's roaming the countryside. He's trying to get his bearings.
The monster is very much alive and very much not dead.
What did I say?
You said he was very much not alive.
Well, that's...
Yes, but he's been very much not alive since about 20% of the way through the first movie.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He's very much
just
undead.
to clarify, people thought he was dead. Someone had told them he was burnt straight down to skeleton bones, which...
Minnie, that fucking mad bitch.
God bless the gullibility of people back in that day, because that doesn't work. But he's not even burnt. He's quite alive.
Or is it? Sorry, I'm just looking...
Smashing people.
Just looking
to death. Smashing people to death.
Yeah.
I better add that in.
Una O'Connor plays Minnie, who is the most hysterical of hysterical women and is probably the archetypical hysterical woman.
Yeah, I'll tell you,
if
you want to find a categorical, I need a clip of miscellaneous hysterical lady, that's her.
But at the same time, she also works as kind of like the sarcastic foil for a lot of the characters.
Yes.
She's fucking brilliant. But anyway, yeah, the monster is not burnt alive. In fact, he is out and about.
No, he's burnt alive. And he's very much alive.
Yes. Fine, cool. Point is, he is fucking moving.
Yes, slowly, but moving.
Yeah. Trying to make new friends, not exactly succeeding. You know, he meets this cute shepherdess. She falls into the lake. He tries to pull her out. She freaks the bean. He tries to make her stop screaming because it's annoying the tits off him. Doesn't exactly go well.
He snaps her neck.
Does he?
That's the impression I got. Either that or she was seriously fainted out. Yeah. That's
the other side
of
it.
This is normal.
Because along come the two lads with the guns. Then he kind of fracks off. Yeah, and I think the shepherdess is still alive. That's why she was like the red herring. I was like, she's going to be a bride. But, you know, no. Eventually, the monster does...
Good evening, Rabbit, and welcome to the chat.
Hi, Rabbit. Eventually, the monster does find a friend in the form of, the hermit.
Yeah,
I thought
a really nice blind man who plays some fantastic violin, and from what I can tell, his vino is good.
It is. And over the course of the next few months, he teaches Frankenstein to speak. Because, like, it's... He's
not reading any Shakespeare or anything, but you can have a basic conversation with the guy. Do you want food? Food is good. Yeah. Wine is good. Turns out Frankenstein, he's a bit of a lush.
Likes a cigar.
He likes a cigar.
Likes his wine. Fire bad, though.
Yeah.
Which is understandable.
Until he found out about smoking good, and then he realised, fire good, depending on scenario, yes. I like how you've managed to articulate that one sentence perfectly, and everything else has been like food, good, fire, bad.
But yeah, this is actually really cool because you have the hermit.
I fucking enjoyed this
Yeah,
thoroughly.
I
I forgot how good this movie was. I knew the movie was good, but I had forgot how good. I had forgotten, should I say. That's very bad grammar of me. I apologize.
You have the hermit and you have the monster, both of them seeking just nothing more than to actually have someone that's not going to fuck off on them.
Yeah.
And here they run into each other.
They were
the
literally
hermit's
like
even
two
thank
perfect.
you, God.
And there was even the weird little, or not weird. There was the really kind of cute conversation. It was like, "So are you trying to tell me that you can't speak and I can't see?" And Frankenstein's like, "Oh," and it's like, "I'll be your friend and I'll mind you and you keep me company." And it's just kind of like, "Oh." And then fucking villagers with their stupid fucking guns.
Sorry, lads, we lost our way. Holy shit, let's shoot him. What are you doing, dickhead?
The inability to logicalize anything. Like, literally, it's just kind of like, the monster's in your house. The monster's in your house. Sitting down, having a cuppa
meal.
and chilling out. Like, they literally walked into the blind guy playing violin and Frankenstein literally like,
Yeah.
you know,
About
like,
as fucking happy and contented as a mash pash of a human being could be.
I think the best way to handle this scenario now
Shoot
is
him in the head.
shoot him in the face. Yeah, shoot him in the face. Needless to say, that doesn't go well. They get the blind guy out. You've had over 70 years to...
Of course, the problem now is that Frankie, that's going to call him.
Some humans good, most humans bad.
No, he's trying to find his friend.
Yeah.
He's trying to find the one human that wouldn't run away from him. So when he eventually runs across God's damn Doctor Pretorius of all people,
who I will, even after being told he was a monster and everything, will testify and say, in credit to the blind guy, was still kicking and screaming as the two villager dudes were dragging him off. He's my friend. What are you doing?
Yeah. He's a monster. No, he's not, you arseholes. Let go of me.
He's like Dr. Pepper. He's just misunderstood. What's Dr. Pepper? Oh,
burn him at the stake.
Burn him. Burn them all.
Throw him in with the monster. What the fuck? Let him go with these. Oh, God. Anyway.
Dr. Pepper. Is he new to the town, is it?
I think he means Dr. Pretorius has been hanging out with that Henry Frankenstein fella.
No, Dr. Pepper, you assholes. Pretorius is a dickhead. Pepper's misunderstood.
He's right.
Who is
Pretorius
this
is a dickhead.
Yeah. Who is this misunderstood doctor? We must find.
Frankenstein.
He's not misunderstood. He's a dickhead as well.
Frankenstein, this isn't a dickhead.
No, Frankenstein, this is very remorseful and realizes the error of his ways.
Unfortunately, Pretorius is an arsehole.
Unlike the Doctor Frankenstein we're going to get into the next movie, he's a whole different bag of fish.
Yeah, it's Pretorius runs into Frankie, the monster, realizes what he has in his hands. Frankie, seeing someone that isn't afraid of him, that is willing to give him wine and cigar and food, thinks, friend. And sure enough, along with this and the fact that Pretorius has Henry working on his new bride, because they figure...
Because he may have miscellaneously...
Pretorius has the notion that they're going to create a whole new race.
Yes. And Pretorius is also... I'm trying to...
Batshit insane?
No, I was going to... If you stop interrupting me, I'll get there eventually. I was going to say he, without permission, relocated young Henry's wife to be.
Yeah.
Hence the helping in the creating of the monster lady.
Yeah, there was a little bit of how can we put this? Oh yeah, kidnapping
misinformed
and
relocation,
blackmail.
Yes, that's another way of putting it. Yeah, he basically.
But we already spelled that out at the start.
We'll just pull the basically out of the equation there. He just robbed that man's lady and was basically like, do you know your freaky monster you made? I want to make a freaky monster as well, and I've got me a fine-looking Bjorn on the table that's just waiting to be electrified alive. And you've got a monster that, while I understand that you're remorseful, you have been a little bit neglectful of. You know, it's one thing being remorseful, but he is still running around the village murdering people, and you're kind of just been like, oh, I can't deal with that anymore, and I did wrong. And,
to be fair,
and everyone's like, you're right. Well done, Henry. You did wrong. And the most important thing is that you've learned your lesson. Learned your lesson and reacquired the monster.
I don't think he was aware that the monster was
No,
still
he's
out
as
and
far as
about
he's concerned. Well,
until near the end of the film.
I am saying this for comedic purposes. No, I'm aware he isn't aware that the monster's alive until he goes and realizes his wife has been kidnapped.
Yeah.
I was just saying that for comedic purposes. Sure, at the start, Henry was fucking dead, technically, kind of.
Yeah. Then he moved. And then Minnie screamed the house down because he moved, because apparently that's something to be afraid of.
Yeah,
He moved! He's not dead!
In Minnie's defense,
Jesus.
in Minnie's defense, she had just seen the undead monster that was supposed to be dead.
No, this is before that.
No, this is after he.
Oh, yeah, it was. She stuck around, you're right.
She ran into the house. She's proclaiming about the monster being all batshit fucking crazy. Then he fucking wakes up in the fucking table. Madness. The madness. Anyway, so kidnapped ladies. We have ladies on tables waiting to be electrified alive. We have a very angry monster running around trying to find his friend, and he's been told that he's now got a lady friend.
Yeah, on the way.
On the way.
We're going to make you a friend. We're going to make you a friend just like you.
A lady friend.
A companion, someone that'll be like you and won't run away.
Then not unlike a lot of men in nightclubs on a Saturday night when they're shit-faced over in this country. Just one thing running through his head after that. Woman.
Oh, you don't need to be shit-faced for bad people. Anyway, yeah.
Woman.
So, they managed
bad woman.
They managed to make this bride of Frankenstein, I suppose, and
Who
it works.
Turned out a lot better than he did.
Yes, well, that's what happens, prototype.
Yeah, I was like, just as the ascension of progress goes, there was a very large jump.
Now, let's be fair. They were working with far better materials in the female form.
Well, I won't lie to you. I'd have probably
female form is always more aesthetically
I
pleasing.
would have probably
It's
cracked on to
better.
Bride of Frankenstein until she started just miscellaneously screaming in my face. She doesn't have a lot of other ways of communicating at this point in time, so just screaming really loudly in people's faces is pretty much.
To be fair, that's not a communication. That was a reaction to monster.
Everything.
No,
She reacted to the monster. She reacted to the fire that way.
no,
although I don't.
she didn't. She only started screaming when the monster came around and tried to get near her. She was perfectly docile and potentially.
Yeah. Once she starts screaming in my face, I'd probably be a little bit like, "Okay, crazy lady, maybe you just."
There was a reason for it. It wasn't just random
I'm not
screaming.
disputing that, but I feel look.
Point is, she didn't like the look of.
If I'm macking on to the Bride of Frankenstein in some sort of club scenario or whatever it is they used to get up to in the 1800s, the fucking Katie or whatever the fuck, Fox Social. I don't know, but I'm sure when she started screaming in my face, it wouldn't matter how much ale or blind man vino I had drank. I'd probably be a little bit like, all right, look.
Yeah, but like I said, it wasn't like she didn't just for the sake of it scream randomly. It was
Yeah, I'm aware, but she does seem like she just screams
at Frank when he tries to get near her.
yes. But I have a lot of evidence to prove that she screams a lot. I don't have a lot of evidence to prove about any other forms of communication, so I'm just running with the one.
The first couple of minutes when she's looking at the two lads and just calm as a button.
There's no calm as a button. She's
There is
literally
calm
like,
as a
what's
button.
going on?
Yeah.
Why am I not dead?
Calmly, figuring out movement.
Yeah.
She's even fine when the door is bust down. It's literally when he comes up to her and starts getting closer.
Too speed.
And she's like, not having it.
No.
Poor bastard.
Even the custom-made woman said no.
Yep.
Sorry.
Anyway, trailer time?
Trailer time. Okay. We have the trailer for The Bride of Frankenstein.
Do we?
Oh, yeah, I'm good. Sleep deprived or not, I can still make a computer sing, motherfucker.
Well,
Bet you won't.
The Bride of Frankenstein. friend.
Apparently, that's the end of that.
I'm not entirely sure that was a trailer so much as scenes from the film.
Would you say that that video was about a minute and 29 seconds long?
Yes.
Right. Yeah, just sorry about that. You got to see the scene. There you go. It was weird that we ended on that bit of conversation and then went direct. It was weird we ended on that bit of conversation and then went directly into a video about it.
Prove my point, though.
Yeah.
She was cool as a cucumber, and then
Yeah,
Frank got too close.
I was just trying to be funny.
Okay.
I was just trying to have a bit of a ha-ha. Kind of cock-blocked it. Anyway, next up from 1957. Oh, I love it because it's full of hammer horrors. It's got Christopher Lee as Frankenstein's monster. You got Peter Cushing as Frankenstein. And you got a whole bunch of other people that are...
Oh, Robert, I was practicing how to say his name, right? Because it's weird. It's actually weird. Not his first name, but his second one. Urquhart.
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 Urquhart. That is a mouthful.
What's that? You're part Ferengi, you say? The Wizard. Welcome to the chat. Although I think you were in there earlier. And yes, you are correct. It is the world's worst perm. First perm. Pretty good. Marge Simpson based her entire look on it, sure.
The Beehive?
Sure. Is that what it's called?
Well, that's what Marge's hair is called. Beehive.
Marge's hairdresser is unaware of the size of Beehive.
Well, Mark Groening based it on the hair of his mother, apparently, in the 60s. 50s? One or t'other.
That sounds like... that. I won't lie to you. It seems like one of those hairdos where...
I've seen them.
You're just taking a chunk of ozone layer out every time you get your bouffant done.
Distinct possibility.
Distinct possibility. Anyway, unlike updos and things of that nature, we don't have a lot of that in Curse of Frankenstein. Starting off, we have Peter Cushing and he's in a prison.
Yes,
Yes.
he is. It's interesting.
It's a very... I like it. It's a recantation of the... recantation? Is that right? Or is it recanting?
That would mean to take back a statement that you made.
Recanting.
No, recanting is to take back a statement.
Right, okay. Well, he's looking to... a priest has been sent down to him. And he needs to have words with the priest.
Well, he asked for him. He
Yeah.
asked for a priest because he figured a priest is the only person that might...
That's what I just said. The priest was sent down to him because he has to have words with the priest.
But yeah, he figures a priest is the only person that might possibly A, believe him, and B, then go along
He's
and make
hoping
other
he might
people
get a bit of a
believe.
shine rub out of the God Lover and be like, hey, if this is going to sound like a crazy story, and I'm hoping if your holy ass tells them the story instead of me on my behalf, that they might, not
Kill me.
kill me, which is kind of the vibe we're going for at the
Oh
moment.
yeah, very much so.
Yeah. Then we're treated to a young flashback of young Frankenstein, who evidently during production, Peter Cushing literally coached the kid perfectly, which is why he's so... It's literally like young Peter Cushing. Like
yeah.
he walks like him, he talks like him, even the way
His posture, everything about
yeah,
it.
even the way they open the door is the exact same. And even the way they verbalize sentences.
Their vocabulary is
No, not just the vocabulary, like the...
inflections.
Yeah, and like pausing and the... Yeah, everything. It's like, well done, that kid, by the way. I mean, Peter Cushing's a great teacher.
Melvin Hayes.
Sorry, what's your name, mate? But well done, Melvin. That's a great...
I'm sure in the 1950s, Melvin... No.
Melvin was not a normal name, ever.
Yeah. But anyway, no. Great job. Awesome job.
So good. Really
Yeah,
good.
basically the point is that young Baron Victor von Frankenstein... Sorry, young Baron Victor Frankenstein... Why do I say von? has recently become the sole heir to the Frankenstein fortune after his mother's recent passing.
Yeah, she's gone kaput.
He has, under the guise of being, well, not even the guise, pretty much he has been the Baron since he was 5 years old and his old fella kicked it.
Yeah.
So he, using the title of Baron, wrote off to one Paul Kemp. Kremp. There we go.
Tutor.
Who, he wanted him to be his tutor. And it's this really cool, there's this really cool interaction between young Victor and Paul, whereby, it's, oh, I'm here to see the Baron. Oh, yes, you're supposed to be my tutor. Well, it's a cool way of gauging both the humor and the intelligence level of both characters.
Yeah, because he handles himself like an adult.
He does, while still being the mischievous kid.
Yeah.
And it's cool because Kremp responds to that mischievousness and sees the intelligence that would have been needed for this kid to have gone along and done what he done, i.e. to pose as an older gentleman with the notion of bringing in himself to educate him. Anyway,
good times. Sorry. Excellent times, even.
Krebs soon begins to tutor Victor in the ways of the sciences because
he toots like a man couldn't toot no more.
Yeah, because Victor's entire notion is that I could go to whatever local Muppet teaches stuff, but to be fair, they don't know squat because they've been teaching the same stuff for 30 years and 20 of that's probably been the same goddamn book. I'm going to actually learn something from somebody that's actually going out and learning for themselves as well.
By God, does he learn?
Exactly. So well, in fact, that it's not long before he knows everything Kremp had to teach him, and now the two of them start working together, exploring new vistas of science and basically doing all the things that would have gotten them burned at the stake in the Dark Ages.
Yep.
Not just in regards to the mucking around with the undead, but I mean, questioning the way the world is and, actually
What is God?
A story told to frighten young children?
Nope, you don't need to get into that.
Okay, sorry.
I was doing my sciences.
There's a great line out of Victor whereby he says it himself that for years they studied and they worked towards something that even they themselves did not know until eventually they figured it out when they resuscitate this cute little puppers from death and stumble upon the greatest discovery in medical science ever.
Dogs are adorable.
The other one, the one about bringing people back to
life. Oh, yeah, you can resurrect people back from the dead and assemble them like a human jigsaw puzzle out of random bits.
No, hang on, slow your roll there, because at the time Kremp was just...
Who the fuck are you, though?
What? They don't get to the whole assembling people until a little bit later on. At first, Kremp is going on about how this can be fantastic, the lives they can save.
Yes.
They can basically... He's talking about induced coma, essentially, for the sake of keeping a patient semi-alive while conducting potentially lethal operations to save their life.
Can't see how it could go wrong.
Yeah, restarting it's basically modern practices.
Yes, but back then. Which is what I'm saying. I can't see how it would go wrong.
Victor, on the other hand, wants to take a minute and not go and reveal this revelation to the rest of the medical world. Let's wait a year and let's take a look at what we got here and
let's put a pin in it.
Let's move.
Discuss it at a later date.
Yeah, and let's maybe move on to the next stage. We can bring people back to life. That's cool. But what about creating our own life? What about creating the most complex machine known to man?
What is God?
Us.
I'm glad you're talking about. There's a reason I used that specific line earlier.
And so this sets Victor off. Kremp, on the other hand, is
reluctant.
Yeah, he goes along with it at first. He helps him.
Stephen. No. Paul, thank you.
He goes along with it at first, helps him grab a body of a criminal down off the gibbet, helps him to relocate it and prep the body. He even hangs around for a lot of Victor's kind of musings and helping him to figure out what the next stage of their plan should be.
If Hangman Page was to describe it, he would say mad scientist shit.
Yeah, he goes off and he finds hands, he finds eyes. He's determined to find a brain, an intelligent, matured brain, which he can then put into his creature and have it automatically have a lifetime's worth of knowledge at its disposal.
Yes.
Which is pretty
much...
Proves
it a little bit harder to get your hands on. Well, not hard to get your hands on, just legally hard to get your...
Yeah, Kremp is already at this stage. He's like, you know what? No, I'm done. I don't know what the fuck you're doing, but I'm done.
Yeah.
In fact, he'd be gone.
I should have. I really, once you started stitching people together, I really should have just bolted on that.
I was going to say he would have, if not for the fact that recently Victor's cousin Elizabeth, who he's betrothed to,
Ding, ding, ding.
has arrived onto the house. So, because Paul has a mad hard-on for her, clearly, he's decided he's not going anywhere and leaving her alone with this mad scientist bastard. Which is hilarious, because actually Victor's tapping the maid the whole time. Which, what?
Oh, Katie just took my line and changed it into something. What it's God, baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt. No, Mary, don't hurt me. Sorry, Mary, don't hurt me no more.
Okay.
Bum, 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 bum.
Okay. Anyway, Victor does eventually manage to get his brain by, well, quite honestly, murdering one of the most brilliant minds in the country.
Very well, by the way.
Yeah!
As murders go, it was good.
That was brilliant. You saw it coming, but what got me was the hit itself. I just looked and went, Jesus, that was a fucking faceplant.
Do you know what worried me about that faceplant?
I wasn't 100% certain that it was a mannequin.
That's exactly what worried me about that faceplant, because when it rolled over, it was like, that's definitely a dude.
And what's worse is you could see where the tiles, you could see it's padding, like underneath. So you're kind of like, did some mad bastard just faceplant himself? Because that's a fall and a half. You and I watch professional wrestling a lot, and you wouldn't see any of those boys do something like that.
We've seen it happen,
Not
and they're
without-
dead afterwards.
Yeah, but they wouldn't attempt it without someone being there to take the fall. Is
Or
my
it
point.
just happened, and they're dead afterwards, one or the other.
Yes, actually. Whew. But yeah, that was I really hope that was a mannequin.
I
then again,
feel
it was-
in the amount of research I did for the American Horrors episode, and you did, that if someone had died,
Who said they died?
I'm sure someone had. Oh my god! So are you telling me? You see, this is the 50s, where someone could just face plant into the ground like that, and it wouldn't even be notable.
Oh, it'd be notable because paralyzed.
Well done, you did your job. Maybe they're not. Like, I'm feeling that would have come up.
Brush that under the covers.
Yeah, for the sake of myself and Giz's sanity, we're going to say
Let's
it's
just say it was a mannequin.
Mannequin.
That was one
A
hell of a
mannequin.
faceplant. Had to have been a mannequin.
But even for a mannequin, do you know the way sometimes when what was the name of the mannequin from?
Crash Test Dummies?
No, not Crash Test Dummies. Well, it is a Crash Test Dummy essentially, but from Mythbusters, they had a name for the mannequin in Mythbusters. Some of the landings that mannequin from Mythbusters took, you were just like, oh, I don't care for your mannequin. Ouch, man.
Especially if you've
Hashtag mannequins have rights too.
Especially if we've actually seen the film Mannequin
I have seen the film Mannequin.
and the sequel. 2 sequels actually. One of them is Supernatural. That's a great episode. Mannequin 3: The Revenge.
Wait, they actually had the third part of Mannequin in Supernatural?
No, it was a gag.
Right.
The name of the episode was Mannequin 3: The Revenge. Turns out that they thought that mannequins were being haunted and plastic was being haunted.
Makes sense.
It was terrifying. It was awesome. Anyway,
Moving on.
this film really, truly, honestly highlights the fact that Frankenstein was an evil, immoral bastard.
Yeah.
Or at least this version is.
It's the first time, like, I mean, in Mary Shelley's book, you got that vibe. In all of the Universal movies, you didn't. It was very much the monster was the monster. Frankenstein was the guy that created the monster, and then, he was
went,
remorseful.
oops, that was a bad idea.
Oops, I won't do that again.
Except
but,
when someone makes him.
Peter Cushing's Frankenstein, it's very much the monster.
Fuck you, everyone.
Yeah.
I'm going to do what I'm going to do.
Victor Frankenstein, played by Peter Cushing, is the actual monster in all of those movies. And he like, even though none of the movies that follow on after it are actually like canonically linked or anything, he just deteriorates into a worse human being as you go, until the final one where there's a moment. They're like their Bride of Frankenstein.
Huh. I'm not going to lie, I haven't seen any of them. So
You should.
yes, I know.
There's one that isn't great, but they're all good.
In my search to get the curse, I ended up getting everything.
Watch them. We can do a whole Frankenstein night again.
We are.
No, I mean again.
Oh, okay.
Movie Mannequin. Yep.
Yes. Anyway, so yeah, Victor Frankenstein is a horrible, horrible, horrible bastard. Well,
Yep.
well, see, Paul keeps trying to be a good friend and keeps trying to pull him out of it, and Victor keeps being an arsehole and forcing him to do shit.
Yeah, Paul shows up to go, what you're doing is wrong.
We need
to stop doing this. You're being crazy. And all of the time that he's having this conversation, Victor's just handing him random bits, kind of like, yes, crazy. Will you just plug that in over there for me, please? That's cool. Okay.
Paul, you need to give me a hand here. This is a two-man machine.
I totally get...
It's already on.
Yes, I know it's amoral and what I'm doing is inhuman, but sometimes... Will you pull that lever over there if you don't mind?
You're the only mind that can appreciate what I'm doing. And help, by the way, putting these plugs.
Look what we did. I didn't do anything. Oh, no, you're in. You're in.
You see, the thing is, I should have a fucking genius on my hands, but you interrupted. You smashed the brain that I took. All this brain damage, all this violence... Your fault, arsehole. You're helping me with all of it. You're helping me right now. Yeah, he calls Frankenstein an animal. He was like, he wouldn't have been an animal if you hadn't fucking rugby tackled his brain into a wall. Yeah, this is all your fault. I've been attempting brain surgery to fix that mess. Then an awkward conversation is had where he's like, we just need to get another brain. Where did you get the first brain? I know. I just want to hear it out of your mouth. No, you don't know. I mean, gravity. And shit. Stuff. And... yeah. I'm getting married! You want to come to the wedding? Yes, we'll all put it aside, and the wedding is good, and we have the wedding. Oh my god, you made the monster. You brought him back again! What are you doing? Joke's on you, I never killed him. Well, I did, but I didn't. But I did. See, the thing is, but I didn't. We killed him, but you forgot. I'm goddamn fucking Victor fucking Frankenstein, bitch. Yeah, I bring it back from the dead. Yeah. His literal words were, it's getting him back from the dead the first time is the problem. Once you've got over that, it wasn't really an issue getting him back from the dead this time. Yeah, it's really... Just plug him in, he's not, really. His attitude is actually hilariously fucking dead. Nonchalant. It's just like, how did you not see this coming, you idiot? Yeah. Like, I literally bring stuff back from the dead. That's my thing. You're a sniveling little bitch that runs to the cops every time he gets a chance, and I bring stuff back from the dead. Like, that's our two-story arc. To be honest, I think it's fair to say that years later, I think when oh no, I've forgotten his name. The guy that played Herbert West. Jeffrey Combs, there we go. When Jeffrey Combs would go to study to play Herbert West, odds are he probably took a good long look at Peter Cushing's Victor Frankenstein and went, him. Oh, I'm going to be him. Yeah, he did, because it's him. He's actually a little more eccentric. Yeah, it's just listening. I had on the Reanimator audio drama the other day. Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about that song that we keep playing on the Deadhead podcast. Reanimate your feet. No. It was just the correlation between the absolute, like, fucking, I'm doing what I'm doing for science because I don't give a fuck about anything else. Welcome to the chat, Regine. Hello. Regine? My eyes don't work anymore. Very last message. Yeah. Regine, thank you. Cool. Small writing. Bad eyes. They didn't even blink in sync with them that time. I just noticed that in the camera. Curse of Frankenstein revitalized the Frankenstein trend. Yeah. As we mentioned earlier, Universal initially had an issue where they had said anything in your Frankenstein movie looks anything like our Frankenstein movie, and you're getting sued the fuck up, basically. Yeah. So I liked. But after this, they were kind of like, "Hey, so we're liking what you're doing with the Frankenstein. So what if we we'll give you some budget, and you can even use some of our sets if you want." Did they go that far? Oh yeah, you'll notice in the second Frankenstein there's a distinct. There's like the proper Gothic castle and all the fucking real Frankenstein-looking stuff is there. It mightn't have been literally their sets, but there was definitely some prop designs and things. And then we're like, also, have you heard of Dracula and the Wolfman or any of those kinds of things? Because we own those as well. If you wanted to maybe hammer them up. Maybe we wouldn't have a problem if you kind of took the same approach. Yeah, it's because it's rubbing quite well for us, because everyone keeps going, this is great. Is there any more Frankenstein movies? Oh, there's all those ones. 20 years ago, that's good. Yeah. Brains. Which would mean that Hammer would then proceed to bring out another 6 or 7, I want to say, Frankenstein movies. Yeah, I think it's another 7. Yeah. Yeah, could be. I feel it's in the 5-6 mark, personally. 4 and 3. You're right, 6.
Yeah.
Because there's 7 altogether. So
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Trailer. Okay, so here's the trailer for Curse of Frankenstein, and then we're going to be back with something a little bit different. That was very multi-point. And now for something completely different.
mountain village in Switzerland lived a man whose strange experiments with the dead have since become a legend. A legend that is still told with horror the world over.
We've only just started, just opened the door. But now's the time to go through that door and find what lies beyond it. But don't you see, Paul? We've discovered the source of life itself, and we've used it to restore a creature that was dead.
This is Frankenstein, who revolted against nature, who experimented with the devil and was forever cursed. His unwilling collaborator was Paul Kremp.
I can't prove you murdered, but I can stop you using his brain.
Why, he has no further use for it?
Don't be a fool! Be careful! You damage it!
Only
Tell me, Paul, the Victor's wicked, insane?
wicked, insane, evil. Call Frankenstein what you will. A demon had made a man-made monster, and now the monster was the master.
Oh, what are you going to do? For your sake and to protect Elizabeth, I've so far kept silent. But now I shall go to the authorities and have them destroy that creature. And see that you pay for these atrocities. No!
And we're back. That was the slightly elongated trailer for Bride of Frankenstein. Or Curse of Frankenstein, should I say, sorry. So you got to see a whole load of pictures there as well, which is nice.
Sorry, just looking at stuff in the chats. Regine Woolston. Cat, as in cat from Cork that I know, or just...
You are a cat.
What are...
What is our favourite Frankenstein movies? Mine is actually Curse of Frankenstein.
I'm not going to lie, I kind of like Sweet Rabbit's answer of Frankenhooker, because yes, that definitely counts.
I fucking love Frankenhooker. Man, that movie's wacky.
Oh my god, that's so much fun. Is this up higher and I hate it?
Possibly.
Possibly. And apparently poor Bree's Wi-Fi keeps skipping on her.
That may have actually been the stream.
Yeah, it might have. We noticed that kind of happened with us once. So, yeah. Anyway, on to the next film, which is Frankenstein, Yeah, the last film.
2014?
2015. No. Sorry, you were 2013. There we go.
2013. We're both wrong.
Yes, we were.
2013. So this is a really unique take on the Frankenstein story, and it's a little subgenre of horror that I love.
When done right.
When done well. I do like
this. Okay, the basic notion of this film is that Professor Jonathan Venkenheim, played by Chris Lemch, has
Venkenheim. You need to keep that in your head.
Venkenheim has some interesting letters, which basically...
Can you say it with me, chat? Venkenheim
has some interesting letters. These letters are basically the letters that appear at the beginning of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, because for those of you that are familiar with the book, you know that the entire notion is that the book is a tale told by Doctor Frankenstein to a sailor who finds him up in the Arctic. The sailor then relates this tale. I think that was the word you were looking for a while ago, relates.
Sure. I can't remember what the sentence was.
You were saying recant.
Yes.
Recount.
Recount. That's what I meant to say. Sorry.
Yeah. There we go. That makes
Sorry.
sense.
I do actually have a better command of English ordinarily.
But he hasn't slept in like a day and a half.
Nope.
But anyway,
or till Halloween.
No, your brain will melt.
I'm sure I'll pass out eventually at some stage. But like mostly I'll be.
Oh no, if you keep drinking water, you should be okay.
It's coffee.
There's water in it.
There is water in coffee. I feel once you... We had the conversation
We
before.
did.
I feel once you add solubles into something, it's no longer its original thing.
Yeah.
So there's that. Napalm being a very good example.
Yeah. Anyway,
wasn't expecting you to go there.
Well, we were talking about water, so yeah, hot water. So yeah. Anyway.
Beckenhive. That's close enough, Katie.
What?
Beckenhive. I was like, that's close enough. That'll do. Venkenheim. Can you say Venkenheim? Sorry.
Anyway, as I was saying, in the original book, Sailor meets Dr. Frankenstein up in the Arctic, writes letters to his sister. These letters are the basis for the book that Mary Shelley writes.
Yes.
Now, it turns out Professor Venkenheim has the letters, therefore the book, according to him, is a work of fiction based on actual events, whereby his great-grandfather's great-great-grandfather actually figured out genetics, the secret to life, and God's damned created a monster.
Like, a fucking huge one.
Yeah! Like about fucking 8 feet tall, just
I don't know what human
beard.
bits he assembled these guys out of, but goddamn.
Actually, that was one of the interesting things.
Gorilla body, probably.
That's one of the interesting things. He talks about the idea that his ancestor probably used animal parts, experimenting on animals, and it's part of the explanation for some of the monster's behavior and how he's able to figure out the monster's
natural hunting instincts.
Yeah, and habits and things like that.
Yeah.
But everyone thinks he's nuts.
Yes, as you would imagine.
Everyone thinks he's nuts, including his missus, who's like, I cannot believe you have hired a film crew to document you going up north looking for the... What are you... What
well, we should add that Venkenheim is actually was a well-respected professor.
This film does an interesting thing. If you look at the Universal Monster movies as expressing the remorse that a character like Frankenstein could show, the Hammer movies shows the amoral
maliciousness,
and an amoral attitude that Frankenstein would have had.
Yep.
Whereas this shows the, how can I put this, obsession.
Coffee totally counts as water, or Sweet Rabbit is fucked. We may both be fucked. To be honest, I'm not too. There's a very good chance.
This film shows the obsession that would have been in Frankenstein to have pursued this to the point whereby he actually went along.
Do you know what I like about that obsession? Seeing as it's a series of real events that was turned into a story. Frankenstein, Venkenheim, Frankenstein, Venkenheim. What if that's like a genetic trait? Just this obsessive compulsiveness when you get your... I like that.
Yeah, it's like he references Professor Venkenheim references Mengele at one point, and how while he was still messing around with plants and stuff, like his ancestor was creating God's damned life.
Yeah,
and it's interesting because it's the notion that genetic traits get passed on through lineages. like the obsession that you were saying, like a gravitation towards the sciences, like slightly psychopathic behavior.
Yeah.
These things have correlations. If you look at people down through the
willingness to fuck it all aside for the greater good.
Yeah. Oh, that especially, man. There's a part in this movie, right, where once you recognize how obsessed Frankenstein is, because he's managed to get all these lads, he's paying a film crew, which is why we have this fantastic quality.
Yes, it's
film.
not like he's shooting it on his phone. He's hired a professional crew, sound guys.
Yeah.
The whole 9 years.
It is a great way of getting around a lot of the problems that found footage movies often have, because all of a sudden it's like, well, we have a reason for having good quality production values, because we're actually a fucking film crew. We're getting paid to follow this mad bastard up north and document his descent into craziness, apparently.
Yeah, it was the same as like Paranormal Activity. Your man was a wedding videographer or something like that. Like there was a reason that he had all the fucking cameras. But he had to buy, I think he had to buy like extra cameras that went up around the house and stuff. But the big recording cameras that he was using were all like, he had them anyway.
Okay, fair enough.
If memory serves, something like that. There was some job that involved cameras, I'll put it that way. I want to say wedding videographer.
Well, once again, that aspect works fantastically in the favor of the Frankenstein theory, because it means that
it's high quality H2O.
It means that, you're a lot of the times with found footage movies, you can be watching them and you can be put off by the fact that it does look like it's been done on a camera or something like on a fucking phone or something like that. The first one. The last one was
that's what I'm on about.
Yeah. But
everyone gives the last one so much hate.
I don't. I think it's what they wanted to do in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, like the only bit of hate it deserves is I could have done without seeing the witch. The CGI witch was a bit but other than that, fucking great movie.
Anyway,
excuse me.
Frankenstein and his band of, I don't want to call them merry men because it's a chick.
They're not merry.
3 guys,
and they're not merry.
Yeah, at first, like they're like, okay, this guy's fucking, he's nuts, but he's paying us.
But partially one of the reasons they also managed to get the crew on board in the first place is he has a relationship, not like sexual, but he's friends with the producer, shall we say?
Yeah, the head of the film crew.
But there's such an. This is what I was saying earlier that I said I'd wait till we got into it. You know from the minute they get up to Canada that it's like, oh, this is not going to go well whatsoever. They nearly get fucking mugged and raped by some fucking meth head that supposedly saw.
To be fair,
the Frankenstein.
Frankenstein says that he has a witness, and they get up to this, like, to call this guy Squirrely would be the understatement of the century.
There wasn't his name Squirrel or something like that?
No, but he's actually played. Where is he?
I don't know. Where is he, kids?
Joe. Yeah. Character's name is Clarence, and he's played by Joe Egenter, who has been in other stuff that I've seen him in before. He was in Supernatural and a bunch of other TV shows.
Very good.
But yeah, he's a survivor of an encounter with this beastie. Apparently, he was up north selling meth to some guys. Let's cut that out of our documentary, shall we? And
yeah, well, look, let's be fair. You don't need to see him or have him saying it on camera for the audience not to figure it out. There's a very meth head vibe off young, what's his face, Clarence, whatever.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, you do actually, the way that the story is told, and then the picture that Frankenstein shows him, you do think that, you know what, crazy as this mad bastard might be, and yes, he has just pulled a gun on everybody.
Yes.
I think he actually did see something.
I think he did see something. Oh, wait, is he sniffing the camera guy's wallet?
I still think he saw something, but we should probably leave.
Yes, we most definitely need to leave.
So anyway, with that somewhat confirmation and everyone once again being like, dude, that guy pulled a fucking gun on us, what the hell is going on? They continue on apace.
Yeah, and to calm the situation down, they go meet their tour guide, where is he supposed to be from?
See, the thing is, he's an Irish actor.
Yeah, I know he's in Sons of Anarchy.
He's in lots of stuff.
Yeah, because Pam was like, no, he's definitely supposed to be Polish, and then he said something.
Canadian.
Is it Canadian he's supposed to be?
It's his, yeah.
I won't lie to you, right? Here's what I thought he was. I thought he was an Irish guy doing a bad Polish accent. Because Pam was like, doesn't he sound Polish? And I was like, yeah, okay, maybe he's supposed to be Polish. And then he said 48. And she was like, no, wait, that's definitely Irish. And I was like, this is what I've been saying. I'm getting this Polish twang in little bits, but mostly he's an Irish dude.
I'm not going to lie, I wouldn't say Polish, but I was thinking Canadian or weirdly enough Finnish maybe? I don't know. The point is, he was trying to put on an accent and it just wasn't quite going well.
They should have just let him be Irish. I mean, he could have been an Irish dude that goes hunting.
We'd have bought it, hook, line and sinker.
Yeah. Anyway.
He's cool nonetheless.
He's cool. He's cool,
fucking
but he's a little bit cray-cray.
See, here's the thing. He's not cray-cray. It's just that, like, he knows the territory. He knows it's serious shit. He knows this is a pack of fucking...
You know he's not a guy to be fucked with, and he's tough as nuts, because the very first encounter you have with him, everyone else is wrapped up to their fucking tits. They haven't even got up into the fucking tundra where they're going looking for Frankenstein yet. They're still in town, but they're wrapped up to the gills. Like, fuck, it's really cold, man. Your man strolls out in a fucking...
like fucking fisherman waders.
Yeah, no, it's just a pair of dungarees and fucking just a fucking...
woolly jumper or something.
Like a fucking... undershirt, like a grandpa.
He's not quite that bad, like, but he's...
Oh, dude, it's literally an undershirt and a pair of fucking...
a jumper in the fucking dungarees.
No, it's a pair of dungarees, and it's like that thing, it's literally like the fucking thermal undershirt things. The long sleeve one, like, I'm not talking vest. I don't know why I said that like that. That sounds like your man.
Anyway,
that's what Polish people sound like.
Point is, you know...
Or Canadian people, we're not sure.
Wherever he's from.
Bitch.
Point is, you know he's a hard fucking bastard.
Yes.
And it's not taking long for him to point out that, look, lads, we're going somewhere serious. You're paying me to look after you, but at the end of the day, if I tell you to do something, you better be fucking doing it.
Yeah. Then one guy goes, "Sir, yes, sir."
It's just like, Jesus Christ.
Are we going to have a fucking problem? Now, I will say, I did think your man overreacted just a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Your man was like, "Sir, yes, sir." Okay, I am taking on the seriousness of what you were saying.
Let's be fair. We didn't see his face while he said it.
That's true.
And that can change.
True, but I feel in a movie, you would...
What?
Like, if he was doing the face,
yeah.
I feel we would have seen it.
It's a documentary. We're looking at the guy on camera. We're not looking at the other film crew.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll buy it.
Because your man's always... He's got this big fucking happy grinning face in him. So I'd imagine he's like, "Sir, yes, sir." Which, to be perfectly honest, would piss me off. Like, I'm telling you, look, we're going somewhere dangerous. If I tell you to do something, do it. "Sir, yes, sir." Seriously, you're going to fuck around. Because I'll let you get eaten.
Yeah, he didn't look like he had military training, that lad. So you'd be kind of like, oh, no, sorry. I don't know. I do think he shot the gun a little bit.
I think it was spot on. Your man's a fucking... Your man, he's a proven messer the whole fucking... Anyway, moving swiftly along. They do travel up north. They go to... They go literally to the middle of nowhere.
And then a little
it's
bit.
the middle of nowhere. And...
Then they go a little bit more.
He later goes, "There's nothing here." Yeah, that's where we want to go. Okay. So he brings them up to the middle of nowhere. And they're kept
also,
up this...
young Jonathan's knowledge that constantly keeps coming up where they're like, no, we definitely want to go there. There's nothing there. No. That's where we want to go. But raises some questions.
Which is exactly what I was about to get to. Because once they get to the Earth and they get set up, Jonathan explains exactly why he thinks this is the right area. And to be fair, it's actually a really good theory.
Oh, the logic makes sense.
Yeah. He figures that the beast is following the migrational patterns of caribou.
Yeah, I heard of caribou.
And he basically puts that down along with the correlation with missing persons. And it basically works out that what he figures is that he's following the caribou. People are running into the monster. The monster is doing what he's doing to not get caught. And then coming back around. And there's a great part where where Carol, the guide, turns around and goes, "You know, that's actually really good. You're spot on. That's a good theory. Your only problem is you've mistaken Frankenstein's monster for a polar bear." Like, he's dead serious. He actually, like, he's impressed with what he's come up with. It's just like, yeah, I actually think you're exactly right. That's an alpha predator, definitely. But I think it's a polar bear. And he's like, look, there's a hell of a lot more attacks than you might think. A lot of them don't get reported. This is probably what it actually is. I don't think it's Frankenstein's monster. But if it is, I'll be happy to try and kill it, because I've killed 12 polar bears.
I've never caught me a Frankenstein before.
Yeah, have you seen a polar bear? Well, I've killed 12 of them, so, you know, haven't killed me a
This
Frankenstein's monster
is
yet.
a bit psycho, like, it's just like, I've never got me a Frankenstein before. Like,
At that stage, he was also drinking poachine, or whatever the equivalent would be.
Fire, water.
Because he offers them a bottle of something, I'm sure I'd...
whiskey. What?
He offers him a bottle of something and says, "You won't find this south of whatever the line is," implying this is homemade fucking...
Buche.
I'd have tried it.
Who's bringing?
Me, it's grand. But they're well on it at that stage, to be fair, you know. But he does, in the middle of that, tell a really good story that injects a nice amount of tension into what is, at that point, kind of... I'm not going to say...
It adds a nice little bit of diversionary... Maybe it could be a polar bear.
Yeah, there's enough, like... There's enough circumstantial evidence to go either way at that stage. Apart from Venkenheim's insistence, I know what I'm talking about, this is what it is.
I love that story about the polar bear where he's like, polar bears are animals and all of that kind of thing. But, he was like,
they're
trust me,
fucking
he was like, if you
smart
rub them up
hunters.
the wrong way, they can get personal.
His exact words are that polar bears are the best hunters on the planet.
Yeah.
And he's not fucking wrong. They're smart, they are fucking powerful, they're fast, they're patient when they need to be.
They're fast as fuck. They can go underwater for 15 minutes at a trot. They can survive in any heat or any fucking low temperatures.
I don't know how good they are in heat.
I'm sure they'll figure it out. I mean, they're not extra furrier than a fucking brown bear. They're just lined.
I think there's extra fat and stuff for insulation. I'm sure they'll be fine. Anyway, point is, he has a healthy respect and tells this really good, horrifying story about an encounter with a polar bear. And like I said, it's that injection of that story that kind of reminds you that, okay, while we have been having a laugh at Venkenheim's theories and, you know, they're having fun and all this and all that, they're in a serious fucking place and serious shit can happen up there. Monster
Even
or
if you're not searching for a monster, there's a lot of shit up here that can fuck you up.
There's the wolves, but they're not a bother as long as you don't wake up.
That'll give you an indication of how bad it is about shit fucking you up. When there's a pack of wolves that is constantly there, by the way, which is like the wolves are obviously tracking them. And he's like, fuck the wolves. He was like, if you wake me up about those wolves one more time, man, I'm going to fucking feed you to them. I'm going back to sleep.
There was a great line. They get up there and they hear a pack of wolves like, what's that? Wolves. No, we're here. Curious. Oh, that's not reassuring at all. Polar bears you want to watch out for.
Yeah.
It's just casual as you fucking put it.
You're not wrong, though.
No, he's not. No, he is not.
But this is why there's also this constant growing level of tension, because for some reason, none of this has occurred to the camera crew. It's like, did you look at a map? Did you do any bit of research about where you're going?
Yeah,
I mean, like,
they start...
I'm not in Canada, and I haven't been to Canada, but the area you described, don't ask me why. I was just like, I feel there's a lot of shit that'll eat you fucking alive out there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and they're like, oh, it's so cold. It's fucking
it's
Canada.
The goddamn Arctic Circle.
The Arctic Circle.
How cold is it going to be? Blah, 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 blah. Is that Celsius or minus? Or is that Celsius or Fahrenheit? It's really fucking cold is what it is. Ugh. And then there's the fact that, and they do it well, while taking in what is, to be fair, some really cool winter scenery.
It's lovely.
One of the boys sees a shape move, detach from the shadows and go further into the shadows. I love little bits like that. The subtle stuff. Things like that always work. It's far better, in my opinion.
Because the wolves weren't the only thing tracking them.
No, they were not. And I was waiting for it. And
Frankie's been onto them since the minute they got in there, pretty much.
I was waiting for it. And it was really cool. Whereby the wolves are howling. They're howling. They're howling. They're not howling anymore. Now you should be fucking worried.
Yeah, bigger predators come by.
What the hell was that sound? It was a polar bear. Really? Is that what a polar bear sounds like? I don't know. Have you ever heard a polar bear before? That is not a bear.
Yep.
They do a lot of really good things without needing to show a lot in this film. And a lot of it, as I said, I think is helped by the fact that they are a film crew, which once again gives them the excuse for having proper cameras. Because if they tried doing this with, you know, phones or anything of a lesser quality, then we would be pointing out and saying, they never show us anything because they don't have the budget to show us anything, as proven by the fact that they don't have decent cameras. These are decent cameras. They choose not to show us anything because it works better. Yep. It's supposed to be a nocturnal creature.
I customarily don't like that, you know, in found footage where they just tiptoe around showing you the monster, but it makes complete fucking sense for this guy.
Especially once Frankenheim explains, once again, its habits and why he understands its habits. Getting into the notion that it's developed a nocturnal lifestyle to try and avoid humanity and to be a better hunter itself, because most of what it would go for, big meat, would probably be out and about at night. Or close to the water if it's caribou, I guess. When we do see the monster, it's from a distance, but There's a
You
great...
don't need to be close to it to get a grasp on how big this fucking monster is.
Yeah, they do a great thing whereby...
But you do get to see it near the end, up close.
Kind of. Before that, they have this great... They do a great thing whereby you have everyone next to the yurt, and the yurt, you can tell, is probably about...
Yurt?
It's probably about maybe 6.5 feet tall, you say?
Yeah.
Eric's pretty tall. Eric the guide is pretty tall, and it's taller than him.
Say so.
However tall it is, Frank is bigger.
Way bigger.
Like, he's standing next to it, and he's bigger, and he looks like the mountain should have been. Ooh. Yeah, he looks like a walking fucking mountain, and we only see him from a distance at this stage. And once again, it goes to something else that was said earlier in the film, whereby I saw this really big dude, then he started getting closer to me, and he got bigger, and he kept getting closer and kept getting bigger.
Small. Far away.
Big.
Bigger.
Oh gods, and far away. Oh gods, and close and bigger. Oh gods. Once they realize how much shite they're actually in is the following morning when they wake up and find all their snow skis bust up or...
Fire one.
Yeah.
Which is bait. That was a bait. That was a bait snow ski.
Yeah.
Frankie realised only one person could ride that snow ski. So we'll just sort him out on his own in a while.
Yeah. Yeah, and then use him because...
As a lure.
Yeah.
And he did.
There's
Because Mr. Hunterpants went to go hunting. Hashtag remember Mr. Hunterpants.
This film has a lot of stuff done very well that could have gone very wrong, but it just shows none of these people felt like they were overacting, hamming it up, anything like that. You felt like you were watching actual real fucking people.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's sometimes an issue with films like this as well, whereby because
we need to overact it because we're doing shaky cam footage and we need to compensate.
Basically, because of the performance of everybody in this film,
which are great,
it means that you are able to have no problem whatsoever with the fact that 90% of the scares of this movie are all auditory.
I wouldn't have minded seeing one particular smash he did.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have minded seeing two, but I'm quite happy to have had one or the other.
Oh, I think I know exactly who you're talking about as well.
I wouldn't have minded seeing how Hunter Boy got mangled up, because he got mangled up.
And you imagine that would have been... would that
and
have been a
the other one I wouldn't have minded is seeing the end guy, because it sounded like there was a tirade of abuse done to that man's body.
Yeah.
You just hear a girl scream, and it's a dude, just to let you know, but you just hear a girl scream, and this crunch, and blood, and crunch, and blood. And...
Am I the only one that just got a vision of just like, just leg, arm, snap?
I figured him more Hulk/Loki-ing it.
Loki the wrestler?
No, Loki as in the god of mischief.
Oh, okay, because I was imagining like giant...
Puny god is what I was...
Oh.
Yeah. Possibly to the point that like a limb came off. Because something definitely got...
That's why I was saying the...
Yeah, I know, but there was a lot of... I think it was just Hulk smash.
Possibly. Yeah. Anyway, for whatever reason, even without visually seeing anything like that, this film still works really, really well.
So good. Still wouldn't mind seeing it though. Especially the Hunter guy. Just wouldn't...
I know.
He didn't seem like he'd go down easy. So it just... Although you're fucking dealing with a thing bigger than the fucking...
But then again, did the lads ever hear a gunshot?
No. No. That's what you
Oh no, that was definitely because it was bits of him.
Oh yeah. Trailer. Okay, here's the trailer for the Frankenstein theory, and then we'll be back to let you know what's coming up in the rest of this week's GoreCast run-up.
I think we're recording. The Frankenstein monster is real, and I think I can find him.
So, Carl, what do you think of Jonathan's theory? You believe him?
Bagged a lot of big game in my day. Wouldn't mind bagging myself for Frankenstein.
Carl scares me.
Oh, and that's a gun.
No, he really scares me.
Welcome to Potter's Gulch.
Population us.
This place gives me the creeps.
Well, what?
I thought I saw something.
He is out there, you know. What's that? I don't like this place, man.
There's something out there.
It's him. I can feel his presence. Oh my god. There's blood. What? Over here. Oh my god.
Luke! Guys, Luke! No.
You've got to go.
I'm not going anywhere. On the verge of a great scientific discovery. I'm not going anywhere.
It's gonna be okay, right?
Don't make a sound.
And we're back. That was the trailer for Frankenstein Theory. If you like good horror movies, go see that.
Yeah, it's one
Definitely.
of the...
If you like found footage movies, especially go see that. It's really good. And if you like Frankenstein movies, definitely go see it.
Yes, because it's some of the...
Interesting take.
Yeah, I like the theories that Frankenstein puts forth. The notion that the Illuminati were responsible for the early experiments because they were always trying to attain immortality. And that's why the entire thing got covered up is just...
It's great. It's really good.
So much fun.
Anyway, that's our movie wrap up for tonight. Yeah. Don't forget Tuesday. Buzz and Carter are doing their top 5 most underrated horror movies, which could be 10 movies because there's 2 of them, unless they're accumulating a list between them.
Shouldn't you have discussed this with them? You being kind of the producer of that show and all.
Probably.
Oh, well, sure we'll figure it out.
My phone's dead.
Oh, phone's dead. It's
So,
okay.
I would imagine the last time they did a top 5, it was 10 movies because there's 2 of them. So
don't worry, we're still going.
Anyway, yeah, that's Tuesday. Then this Thursday, as due to the fact that the show got cancelled last week, we got Giz's Halloween movie picks, which is Critters,
Grabbers.
Oh, I love that movie so much. Critters, Grabbers, and what was the other one?
Event Horizon.
Event Horizon. That's it.
Because it's fun, it's drunk, and it's scary as fuck.
Event
That's
Horizon.
Halloween.
Event Horizon's amazing.
It is.
To think there's footage that still could be put in that movie that makes it even scarier.
I'd love to get my hands on it.
Yeah, I'm just shit myself in the middle of the living room.
What the fuck?
This movie's amazing. That was scary as fuck.
Okay, whatever you're into, dude. Whatever you're into.
No, not in a fucking Scatman John kind of way.
Oh, Buzz just said apparently it's 10 total.
Yep, cool. Cool. That's, yeah. I'm going to warn you now that there's a very good chance by the time we're live on air I could hate you.
By the time we're live on air?
Yeah. Because I'll have had to prep the show.
Yeah, I know. I
hate you. Anywho, yeah, that's it. That's the GoreCast roundup. Anyway, as is customary, join myself and the Giz over on American Horrors in about an hour, where we are going to be doing our full-blown cinematic retrospective of our horror's most famous icons. This week, as you probably gathered, it's Frankenstein, where we take you through 100 and odd years worth of Frankenstein-related history and movies.
Quite a lot.
Quite a lot. I had to chop a lot out of the show, that's how much.
Actually, you know what? Just before we go, because I don't normally do this because I just don't. For anyone interested, and if you were unaware, I do a radio show.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering what was going on there.
Yeah, I do a radio show, and to celebrate Halloween, this week we are going to be doing a request-driven Halloween-themed show. So if anyone has any requests, go on to Facebook, look up The Metal Show, which has Darth Vader giving you a metal up sign. Feel free to play a request, and if I can get a bunch of them, then hopefully this Friday shall be a nice, fun, Halloween-themed metal show. Haha.
Halloween-themed?
As in, like, what metal song...
Have I given you one yet?
I can't remember. I don't think so.
Huh.
Someone's already picked Rob Zombie. I know.
Marilyn Manson
is clear so far.
Okay.
Think about it.
Marilyn Manson, this is Halloween.
bit of an obvious one, but okay.
I was going to go Rob Zombie, Living Dead Girl.
I think that might have actually been with the other person.
Leave with me.
As well.
Leave with me.
Yeah. Anyway.
Leave with me.
Sorry to have interrupted your rant.
No, it's okay. What rant? There was a rant?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Join myself and Giz over Cinematic Frankenstein's 100 Years of... No, I think I've gotten to the end of it. Yeah. Starting in an hour. And other than that, we have a little trailer short where one of Giz's relatives try to... I'll just let the trailer do the thing. It makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Anyway, from myself and the Giz, we'll catch you next week. Well, during the week, we're going to be doing a whole lot more Halloween-related horror bollocks.
I can't wait!
We may be in costume Thursday.
What? Since when?
Since now, because I just realised it'll be our Halloween show.
You mean the episode where we're talking about all the films that I like?
Yeah.
We're going to be drunk.
You can be drunk if you want. You should get dressed up as a critter.
I shaved. Doesn't work anymore.
Do you have like a rug you can put up there?
No.
We'll discuss this off air. Anyway, join myself and the Giz during the week with Buzz and Carter, where we're going to be talking about some other sort of mad horror bollocks. GoreCast out short for them.
The blue thing's connected to my wristwatch. That's not good. Okay. At last, the time is nigh. Igor, couple of minor modifications were all ready. Igor, bring me my copy of Grey's Anatomy, Popular Mechanics. And Multiple Times.
Nice.
Classified section. It's really good for our work.
What the hell is going on over here?
Let me see. Electrical level set. Turbines. Power the turbines! They said it couldn't be done. They said I was crazy. I'll show them. Igor, bring me the liver.
Who the hell are you calling Igor? What is going on here, by the way?
I'm building myself a bride of Gizenstein.
It can't be done. It's crazy.
She's alive! She's alive! And you said I was crazy. I am a god.
Doesn't sound fucking crazy, to be blatantly honest. You've lost your goddamn mind, bro. I won't... Why does she look like my fiance?
Honestly, I haven't really seen a great variety of women over the last year or so, and...
Yeah, I get that. This gives me several ideas. Join myself and the Giz this Sunday, 8:30 p.m. CST, whatever that equates to is GMT, is only on American Horrors, where we're going to be doing in-depth cinematic retrospective of horror's most famous icons. This week is part 4, Frankenstein's monster. You're going to come with me for a moment. I have someone you need to meet.
Hello, guys. This fucking shit again?
Don't forget, if you enjoy our Madcap GoreCast horror hijinks, we stream 3 nights a week over on YouTube, Mondays, Thursdays, and Sundays, where you can see a little bit of this. Turd spoon, god damn, I knew there was something I wanted to bring up in the... God damn, I don't know what a fucking turd spoon is, but I'm mad to...
Get it pretty in-depth.
Most definitely some of this.
With a new 2009 twist. She pulls out of her vagina.
I'll give it to her though, because like, you know how like magicians kind of like do something and they pause dramatically? She took that dramatic pause.
And occasionally some of this.
Our favorite Halloween movies.
What's up, GoreCasters? Welcome back here to the GoreCast. Yeah, okay, I'm here. I'm back.